All right, today is Thursday, July 16th, and we are going live right now, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Corbett with the AZ Lifestyle Group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to this channel and you're looking to find out everything you need to know about what it's like living in and or moving to the Phoenix metro area, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video. We are helping people from all over when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when it comes to moving to the Phoenix Metro. All right, so without further ado, let me bring in my good friend and partner, as always, Rudy Lopez. Rudy, good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a crazy week, but surviving, getting through it. It's been hot, and things are crazy right now, so... Yeah, all is good. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. It's been crazy. A lot of activity, a lot of action going on. It's hot outside, so
Yeah.
a lot of that we're having to deal with. I'm super excited that my in-laws are actually visiting us this weekend.
Okay.
From Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
They're going to see our baby boy for the first time, and then next week we'll be driving up to Flagstaff for some much needed reprieve to this weather. So
That's awesome.
I'm counting down the days.
It sounds like some good weekends. So they're not scared of coming to Arizona right now?
They were they were supposed to be here 2 months ago when
Okay.
our son was born, and they did not make it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I think now they're feeling a little bit more comfortable. We're still going to be err on the side of caution when they're here, so we're going to be mostly grilling outside and just taking it easy. But they're being cautious, but they are also getting very stir crazy being at home. So they're ready to take a little road trip and come visit their little grandson.
I get it. My wife had her brother come in. He moved to Seattle about a year and a half ago, and he came into town last weekend to kind of visit with us and the rest of the family. It was funny, like a few months ago, Seattle was like the major hotspot, and everybody was like afraid of their like 10 cases they had, and now we're the hotspot. But it seems like at this point, the entire U.S. is just as bad as Arizona at this point, so who knows?
Yeah, it really is. You're just all you can do is your part to make yourself and those around you feel as comfortable and safe as possible. So that's what we're doing, and luckily it's working so far.
No, I visited my uncle yesterday. I hadn't seen him since this whole thing started. We both wore masks at the house, and you know, it's strange and it sucks. But, you got to do it right now, because I'm hearing definitely some really tough stories of people with their relatives in the hospitals right now and then being completely overwhelmed. And it's so that part's not fun. But so everybody out there, please stay safe. You can still come here. There's a lot of people still being active. Just do what you can to be safe and take it seriously. And, just best wishes out there to everybody and doing that.
Amen to that.
Actually, it has been hot. I wanted to share this with you because we had, I think over the last weekend, we were at 116, 117. Our AC was going nonstop, and ours went out on us Monday night. Thankfully, we were able to survive Monday night and got it fixed early Tuesday morning. But man, that was not a fun thing to go through this week. And for anybody who is coming out here, be prepared for... especially we have an older AC unit. If you have an older AC unit or an older home, try to have like everything planned in advance just in case that happens.
Yeah, when we first moved here, first piece of advice, the sellers actually were gracious enough to give us their advice, being that we were new here, is to every year get your AC serviced and checked on. Because even though the unit can be 10, 15 plus years old, if you're taking care of it, much like a vehicle, you can actually let it run a little bit longer than you would think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that if you obviously had to replace it, and that's a
Well,
very unfortunate
we didn't have to
situation.
replace it, thankfully.
Oh, you didn't? Thank
No, we
goodness.
got it. We got
Yes.
it fixed. It was thankfully like a $300 fix. I was scared of
Ah,
potentially having to replace it, but I mean, we actually have a home warranty on it, and I think this is actually an interesting topic because a lot of people ask about home warranties,
mhm.
and I have mixed reviews on home. I don't know if there is a perfect home warranty company out there. So if you're looking for one, I mean, it has been helpful for us to have one since we purchased this home, and it has definitely paid for a lot of things that would have been much more expensive. But on an air conditioning unit, if it goes out during the summer, I'm not relying on that home warranty company right away because they're just unreliable. Now, if the thing broke and somebody said, "Hey, it has to be replaced," I'm probably going to try to see if I can get that home warranty company out to come look at it and see if they'll replace it. But that process could be months, and we obviously can't do that here. So give and take. There's some positives to home warranties. There's some negatives for sure. But yeah, on this one, I said skip the home warranty. I'm just getting it fixed.
That's a good point because I think with home warranties, and from personal experience myself working with them, it's almost on a case by case basis depending on what repair is needed. If it's a repair that you're okay with it taking a little bit longer, it's not an emergency type
Yeah,
of repair, then maybe the home warranty is a good way to go.
right.
You do have to pay a deductible for them to just show up. And then when it's fixed and repaired, then the home warranty can obviously cover that cost. But we had a small leak in our bathroom about 7, 8 months ago that we could afford a few days. It
Yep.
wasn't anything urgent, and
Yep.
we used the home warranty, and it did take a while for them to come out and fix it. And we had to pay, I believe, $150 or $200 deductible for the time that it
Oh
spent.
wow.
But
Okay.
it's considering the repair that was needed, it wasn't that big of a deal. But an AC unit or maybe a refrigerator or something that's a little bit more in need, then I would probably think about doing it outside of the home warranty
Yeah.
if you're willing to do that.
We had our washer go out on us, and it was a washer that we, got with the house when we purchased it, 6 years ago. And the washer is not anything new; it's probably early 2000s washer. And it went out, and they gave us a check for $650 to just go buy a new one. So from that angle, it was like, and it took a few weeks to get it, but it was helpful. So
Yeah, that's
there
yeah.
are some times where it comes in handy. All right, so I want to try to figure out for anybody who's watching this, whether you're watching live or you watch later on. I'll put ask questions and comments because we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear like what you want to know. I mean, we can talk about kind of current events going on, our stories. Hopefully, add some information of value to you. But we want to hear from you as to what's important. Like, are you trying to figure out if you're coming to Arizona, if it makes sense, what areas it might be best for you, what's good for you and your family, that type of thing. So please let us know, not only on what we can do on these live calls when we're talking to you directly, but also for when we're trying to make videos and what we can do. It's always helpful to have that feedback from you. And, again, we're here for you. This whole channel is designed to help bring something of value on something that you might not be seeing from other areas. So please let us know what you need, and we're going to try to deliver it to you as best we can.
Yeah, we want to make sure that obviously if you're moving from another state and you have lots of questions about the local market here, that you've got us to help you pave the way because of what's going on with COVID. You might not be comfortable enough to make it down here and pay a visit, but we got your back, like Greg said, when it comes to helping you out with the local market, what we're seeing around here. If you see something on the news, it might not always be 100% true.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation. So we're here to make sure that we help you guys with that.
Although I hear Wayfair is sending kids and cabinets or something like that. So I don't know. That's the news of the week this week. We don't have to spend too much time on that, but I don't. The shit you hear on the news is crazy these days. So yeah,
bizarre.
Don't spend too much time on that. Yeah, it's crazy. The other thing, so I wanted to kind of go over, the video I was shooting this week, and they'll probably go out next Friday, was best neighborhoods in Phoenix. I figured I'd touch base real quick on that. When I'm trying to figure out what videos are best for the viewer and what we're seeing, like obviously there's going to be a lot of people who are like, hey, what's the best neighborhood in the Phoenix metro, that type of thing. There are a million neighborhoods here, and there are a ton of great ones, and it's going to be impossible for me to really cover each neighborhood one by one per se. So I'm going to try to do it on a little higher level scale. And I just covered Phoenix this week, and then we'll kind of break it down and go into other areas, like when you're looking at the East Valley, West Valley, Gilbert, Scottsdale, Peoria, Glendale, like all those hot spots that you guys are hearing about. And then we'll kind of go into a little bit of detail. But I'm going to share with you some of the most popular neighborhoods in Phoenix, because I think Phoenix gets overlooked so much when people are looking to move here, because it's such a huge area, and they don't really know like all the great areas or all the great neighborhoods that are around here. So hopefully that'll be a benefit to some of you guys as well, so you can see what's going on. And again, we're going to start breaking it down and try to get a little bit more detail and get a few more people filming for us too. So look out for that in the future.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on your situation. Are you a family that's looking to settle your roots in a place with great schools, something long term? Then obviously that is certain neighborhoods that might be more appropriate. Are you just basically starting a family now, or are you a newly married couple and you guys want to be in the middle of all the action and you want to have fun and enjoy it and maybe sell in a few years? It's just a temporary purchase. That's one thing. Are you looking for maybe like my wife and I, we usually buy homes to live in for a few years and then we turn them into rentals. And there are a lot of different pieces that go into our decision-making process, but that's what we do. And maybe that's something you're looking to do. So I really think it depends on your specific situation, and talking to us about what your future goals are, not just what you're doing right this second, but what you plan on doing 3, 5, 7 years from now.
And for those of you who in need, like when you're watching a video and you think that you have questions or anything, we have that link set up to jump on a Zoom call with us. I mean, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get us talking to you just straight up, being completely honest and kind of giving you an idea on what you need to do. It's going to be a no pressure situation. We're not here being like, oh, when are you going to get here? Are you ready to buy right away? Like, it's not anything like that at all. It's basically just a session of getting to know you, getting to know your needs, desires, wants, kind of your game plan of what you're looking to try to do, and see if we can help guide you in the best direction on how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of. I had something on my mind and then I just totally blanked it. Like
you were going to discuss some of the areas in a macro view on some of the areas to live in.
Oh, well, actually, what I wanted to do was go over, because this has been crazy this week. I've been out searching around with some of my clients coming in from out of state, and I'm really noticing over the last 2 weeks, and I don't know if you're seeing this on your end, Rudy, as well, but like it's a frenzy. Like, it is an absolute frenzy right now for people buying homes. And you wouldn't think that because of Arizona being in a situation when it is, but because of COVID, like, people would maybe be like taking it easy, and that maybe they are on the sales side. A lot of people are staying put. We have very low inventory and we have a huge amount of demand. It's causing a frenzy, and it's insane. Like, I see homes go on the market and then under contract within 24 to 48 hours. And this is not just on the 300, 400K range. This is all the way up into the 6s and 7s. So, I don't know what our average price point is. We probably, I know we talked about that a little bit, Rudy, getting into the Cromford report, kind of sharing that with people. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be coming up here in the near future, getting you guys some real stats that you're not going to find anywhere else, because this is stuff you're going to need to know, because if you come out here and you're not ready for the frenzy, it's going to overwhelm you, and you might just be like, screw Arizona, I'm out.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with low supply and high demand, and it's not going to change. At least it doesn't appear like it will change for the foreseeable future. So That's why it's so important to go ahead and start the process as early as possible as it relates to getting pre-qualified, getting those questions answered up front, so that when you see a house, this might sound so crazy, but you literally have to put an offer as soon as possible,
Yeah.
because by the time the ink dries on that offer, another offer might have already been accepted,
Right.
and you need to be prepared for the roller coaster ride that the Arizona market is going to put you through. But
Yep.
it's not impossible, and
Right.
as long as you do your due diligence up front, and as long as you're prepared to put strong offers on the table, to make sure that you're a well qualified buyer, to make sure that you're flexible with your terms, because it's not only about the sales price. A lot of times, it can be about a lot of different things when you're closing. What type of flexibility you're giving the sellers that might
Yep.
be looking to buy something else. So
Yep.
it's just as long as you're prepared, and as long as you're working with local experts like ourselves that can walk you through that process, we promise you that it won't be as gut wrenching as you might expect it to be.
Yeah, and all that's huge. And I also want people to know this, because that's why getting on a Zoom call is helpful too, because we want to know really your true goals. Because on the opposite end, like there's two sides of this. When you have like a frenzy on the buyer side, you typically get people who now feel pressure to have to do something right away, so they don't get priced out, which is very important and true. But we also want to make sure that like you're making the right decision for yourself. Like, I don't want anybody feeling like they're jumping into something too soon if they're not completely on board and comfortable with it, because we know where that ends up too. So to start the process early and to kind of get an idea of what you really want. Obviously things change along the way, and what your expectations are right now might be like, hey, I wanted that, now I need to kind of adjust a little bit. But we want to make sure you're making the right decision. We don't want to put too much pressure on you to like jump in right away into something that's going to be a bad decision. But at the same time, we need to know, hey, if this is the perfect house and you really want it, then we have to act fast and make sure that we know how to put yourself in the best position to get it. So it's a tightrope to walk, but we're going to be always working in your best interest.
Yeah, and to your point about adjusting and being flexible too, I've had quite a few clients. We're one of the top renovation lenders in the country. So I've had quite a few clients that were looking at homes that were ready to go, fixed up, turnkey, beautiful homes. And they just kept getting outbid by cash buyers or just higher bids.
Yep.
And I've had quite a few clients that have readjusted their game plan, and now they're looking at homes that do need some renovation work.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be major renovations. It could be just updating. You might be buying a house that just needs a lot of updating.
Right.
And they've actually had better luck going through that process by buying homes, adding their own personal touches to them,
Yep.
and not having to go through all the back and forth when it comes to getting outbid on other homes. So that's another possibility if you're willing to take on something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more work, and it's going to take a little bit more time. But when it comes to securing a little bit better deal and maybe walking into some instant equity versus buying on the high end, it's definitely something to consider. So.
Absolutely.
And look, like we have no idea what the next 6 to 12 months is going to bring, so we want to guide you in the right direction on how this is all going to play out. Who knows? Nobody has the crystal ball. I wish we had it. Rudy, if you have one hiding in your pocket, let us know. But
we get it.
But yeah, until Rudy gets that out, then we're all going to be sitting here waiting and trying to figure out what the future brings. So it's crazy. So be prepared for it. We just know like how much it can be draining when you like see a bunch of houses online, and then I don't know how many times this happened, and I've talked about this before, especially with Zillow. Like you look on Zillow and you look at a bunch of houses that look to be active, and you're like, hey, I want to go see these 5, 6, 7, 8 whatever houses, and then I send them back to you and be like, hey, I'm sorry, they're all under contract, but Zillow doesn't show that, and it's really draining for a lot of people. So we want to get this started so you're not going through and like falling in love with a bunch of houses that you're seeing, and then all of a sudden you're like, they're not available for you.
Well, Greg, are you to that point, are you able to set someone up? If I called you, we did a Zoom call, and I told you what my wish list was as far as price point, bedroom, bath, square footage, all that good stuff. Are you able to notify me of houses instead of me having to go to Zillow and unfortunately go through all that mess that Zillow, there's a lack of time that they provide on some of the listings? Are you able to?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's very easy for us to send emails directly that are auto, like anytime anything comes up within your search criteria, we send them right over to you so you can see what's happening, what's going active, what's going under contract, what's closing. So you can see the market real time. And it's going to be, definitely a little bit better than, look, Zillow's big. I'm not going to tell anybody to stop searching on Zillow. Like, people are going to look at it. It's been a huge platform for a long time. People are going to look at it. But if you really want the most accurate information, or you want to compare, because look, like there are times where you just want to compare. You're like, why am I not getting these listings from my agent? Well, this is why we want to coach on why that might not be coming to you. Because if you think you can search for something that your agent's not sending you, and I totally get that. Like you might want to do a little extra due diligence, but so I actually like when people are searching on their end as well. But let us kind of guide you so we can be like, okay, this is why we're not sending it to you. It's because it's already under contract, and so it's just an extra tool for us to send to you and then compare with what you're searching on your end.
Yeah, and I can speak from experience looking from another state. Before we moved here, there were quite a few houses that we were interested in, and when we sent them to our realtor, they were all under contract. Well, not all of them, but the majority of them were under contract. Yeah. So it definitely felt like we were wasting a lot of time only looking on Zillow, where, to your point, we kind of used a little bit of both, because Zillow has that map feature that was pretty convenient to use, and we coupled that with our realtor sending us the emails that were extremely helpful.
Yeah, and we do have another like most of us have several websites. I tend to use the MLS the most, but there's all sorts of IDX websites which is pulling data from the MLS that we use, that our brokers offer, that work very similar to Zillow. So if you like the way Zillow operates, but you want something that's a little bit more accurate, we've got options for that too. So it's all on how you want to work it. I just know, like, I've stopped trying to force feed into people like using our particular search methods, because it's like, hey, if you're comfortable doing what you're doing, then keep doing it. Like, I don't want to mess up your search, but just let us help guide you just a little bit so we can show you why what we're sending might be different from what you're seeing online.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely good to be able to look at different avenues, not just one in particular.
Yeah. Well, let's talk good things. Like you talked about potentially going to Flagstaff coming up. What's going on up there? What are you seeing? What's the weather like? Tell for somebody who's like looking to move to the Phoenix metro area and they're like, hey man, I need to get out of here sometimes during the summer because it's too hot. Like, just talk about what you're seeing up in Flag, what you're looking forward to.
It's actually Sedona and Flagstaff. I haven't been this summer, but from friends who I've talked to, and you were just in Sedona recently, it seems like there's a lot of people up there. It's strange because here during the summer, it can become a little bit of a ghost town because of the heat, which is no big deal. It's actually nice. The traffic's low, and you get a little bit of a reprieve from that. But from all indications, Sedona, Flagstaff, they're popular right now. A lot of people up there, and especially because of the weather. And so that's what I'm seeing right now, that, we're expecting, when we go to some of the restaurants or just to go to the store, we're expecting maybe some larger crowds. But we're just excited to get away from some of the heat for a couple days. That's really the biggest thing. And to see our in-laws. Obviously, we're excited about that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, well, and a lot of people are working from home, so they're like, okay, well, I've got a cabin up in Flagstaff or Pine Top or whatever, so I'm just going to go work up there for the summer and that's for a silver lining for a lot of people who, thankfully haven't had to go through the experience of it yet and can stay safe and stay healthy. If you can work from home and you can work remotely and you can go be like, hey, I'm checking out, whether it's a couple weeks, month, whatever, up to a cabin up north. I mean, that's definitely not a bad thing to do, and I get that. But yeah, I was even talking to a friend of mine who was up near Sedona this week, and they went to Slide Rock, and they were there at 7:30 in the morning. It was already full, and that was on a Tuesday. So a lot of people are up north trying to, because there's not a whole lot to do right now. It's number one, it's hot. Number two, with everything COVID related right now, there's just not a whole lot of things that you can go and hang out and do, which Yeah, it's a crazy year. That's all I can say. I keep thinking about. I have no idea. Everybody. I still listen to sports radio, and I keep hearing about the NBA bubble's going to start soon, and the college football is going to try to do just their interconference schedule, and the NFL's. I'm like, how is any of this going to happen? I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident that it's going to happen. Baseball. I keep hearing about it, but it'll be strange if it actually happens. But we'll see.
Well, baseball's supposed to start next Friday. Actually, they're gonna start a regular season of 60 games. The regular season is 162. They're playing 60 games this year. It's bizarre, totally different, obviously, like everything else that's going on right now.
They play that many just in spring training.
Right. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen? But it looks like baseball, as it stands today, will start next Friday. I'm a huge baseball fan. That's part of the reason why we moved here, because of spring training.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about that. Finally get to watch a little bit of sports. Who knows what it's going to look like?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it'll be. Hey, if it happens and they can make it happen, it'll be nice to have like highlights again and scores.
And then apparently you can't. The players can't give each other high fives. I don't even think the fans can be in the stadium or not.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. But yeah, it's going to be a totally different.
But no high fives is really stupid to me. But
yeah.
Leave it to. I mean, there's always people that take things too far. I'm all about safety.
Right.
I want the players to be safe. We definitely don't need a situation where players start getting sick and then they have to shut down the season because they're like, oh, this is spread. So, I don't know, but like, I don't think high fives are gonna be the reason. But hey,
yeah, I'm just excited that we're having a little bit of sports of some sort.
Yeah, no, I hear you. We need it. We need some distraction. Besides the news that we currently see these days, because it's so horrible to like turn on the news at all. And I like to stay in touch and see what's going on, but man, it's not something that's enjoyable for the most part.
No, it's getting tougher and tougher to watch the news. Well, I mean, it's been the same thing for the last 120 days on the news, but a little bit of change of pace is going to be welcomed by many, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's. It's about 10:30 now. I don't think we have anybody asking questions today, which is totally cool. But let's just have one more topic and then we'll wrap it up. And I wanted to talk about, just because my wife and I are talking about this a ton right now, I'm sure you guys are too, as far as what you're hearing from schools and what you're feeling. Like, are you? I know all of us, for the most part, parents, I would imagine, would love to have our kids go back to school and have it be safe. Don't get me wrong. But what are you hearing? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
It's a good point. So our 2-year-old daughter, we signed her up for a school that is starting on August the 15th or 17th, I believe. Yeah. And it's going to be just a very strange situation. This will be the first time in 2 years that we will be away from our daughter ever for longer than a dinner.
Right.
And so we're going to, supposedly the rules are we are going to have to drop her off. The teachers are going to get her out of the car, and then we can't go in with our daughter. We have to just drive off, basically. So we're a little nervous about what it's the potential impact, emotional impact that it could have on our daughter. It could be nothing. She might enjoy it, but we're still debating whether we want to continue doing this or not. Maybe giving her another year, maybe trying it again next year, or if we should just suck it up and let her go to school and just kind of go through this crazy time. Yeah. I don't know. This is a very, very unique time, and we don't really know, my wife and I, how to handle it. We have, I think, 2 weeks to decide if we're going to move forward with this school.
Yeah.
And right now we're leaning on yes.
Yeah.
But who knows? It might.
I hear you. We're in the same boat, and I mean, we had ours is a little younger. She's about 16 months right now, but she went in January and February, and she was actually sick most of January, and we just, I mean, obviously there was flu season already, even if COVID wasn't even a likely scenario, and that was her first time being around a bunch of kids. So we feel like, as much as that's going to suck, it's going to be helpful. Like, you got to put yourself in those situations to fight off some of the other garbage, even outside of COVID's. But and it's just, I think, I think we've been able to have, like, we're extremely grateful to have my wife's sister help out with us during the summer, and just kind of give her, like, still a good environment as best we can at home, that she's not completely bored out of her mind. But I think it'll be good for her to be back at school. But obviously there's so many factors, and there's, like you said, I think we're in the same thing. It's like, you can't go inside, and you got to drop them off, and they check them in and bring them in. And there's just, it's not optimal, but I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys, where I feel like it's probably going to be best for the long term, even though there's no perfect answer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just have to trust your gut and trust the people that you're letting your child be around.
Yeah.
And the situation and your decisions. And luckily, if it doesn't work out, I'm sure you could always pull them out of school if it's just not working out, and maybe try it again. For sure.
I feel for the people that have multiple kids and they're older, and I mean, I talk to people all the time that they're trying to run school at their house and online school. I talk, my cousin back in Maryland, he's got two boys, probably in between kindergarten, second grade-ish, and they're gonna have like 2 days of school, where they go to school 2 days and then they have virtual 3 days a week. I mean, it's like, I don't know how you plan around that. Like, if you're working, and I mean, it's hard. It's hard. But tell us your stories out there, because we'd love to hear them. I mean, we'll learn from you guys too. Tell us what's going on your end. I mean, we're learning a lot, so we're going to try to do the best for everybody. But man, it's crazy times. But we'll keep plugging away, as everybody is. But we'll wrap it up. Rudy, as always, appreciate you being here to help out, and just giving all your guidance and support. And I know everybody out there watching appreciates it as much as I do. So thank you for that. Everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. Stay safe. And we will see you guys next week. Take care.